Good morning. Welcome to Pieces Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint the pieces. You're the audience. You watch me paint the pieces. Um, at least on this show. Uh, we do some other stuff too, where we do like little model spins and things like that. And then occasionally I can actually. I'm continually breaking stuff in here. I save too much junk because I always feel like I'm going to use it for something. And then I usually throw it out like a couple of weeks later. I'm like, why was I keeping that? And I throw it away. And I usually have like several tin cans because I'm like, oh, I need the aluminum for, magnet stuff. And then like I never get around to magneting it, so I just toss the aluminum and recycle it. I just, but I save some weird stuff, and I don't know why. I think, I think like in a former life I was a pack rat, and now I'm recovering. That might be it. I don't know. Anyway, um, so yeah, we're back. We're working on Sniper Priests, and other Trench Crusade stuff. Um, I went ahead and looked up the timeline for Trench Crusade, so we can kind of look at it. It's pretty cool. So I thought maybe that would be fun. Anyway, we could kind of, if I can manage to read that and work at the same time. So anyway, we've got this wonderful Sniper Priest, and he's starting to look pretty cool. And we're gonna muddy this cloak up a lot, which is probably what we're gonna start on today. Before we come back and finish this cloak and do some more detail work and stuff like that. Now we've got him on the base, we can put more paint handles, and we're not putting our fingers all over him anymore, which is good. That's always good. Turn on my sign. Yeah, so 1099 was the date when the First Crusade captures Jerusalem. Knights Templar commit the act of ultimate heresy. The gate of hell is opened on earth, and Jerusalem is destroyed in the cataclysm. So like the whole city of Jerusalem gets leveled from the opening of these gates of hell. Then 2 years later, in 1101, the year of three battles, heretic forces by the armies of the Third Circle of Hell conquer most of the Levant. If you don't know what the Levant is, it's like the Holy Lands area that a lot of people call the Holy Lands. Okay, so paint-wise, just kind of want to muddy this up. We'll come back and do another round of that purple after this sits in. Part of the thing with Grimdark is you want it dirty, you want it goth, and you want it dark, we don't want it so dirty that it's obscuring details, but we do want it pretty filthy looking. This guy needs to look like he's been hanging out in these trenches for a while. We're also going to use a little bit of this umber for that shadow. Still trying to pull those out properly. Alright, so after the Battle of the 30 Army, or Year of the Three Battles, the ancient city of Antioch is fortified and becomes a local focal point for resistance against the forces of hell. And that is in 1102, so the year after. Next, Kobar or Sabar, whichever how. I'm not sure how to pronounce some of these demon names and other things. So we're gonna do the best we can, and then we'll correct them as we learn. Becomes the first tyrant of the 66. The great sultanate of the invincible iron wall of the two horns that pierce the sky is formed. In the coming decades, it unifies the Islamic factions. The great iron wall of Iskander re-emerges and is fortified against the heretics. That's 1109. So we've gone. Sobar is in, or Kabar is in 1106, and then 1109 is when the sultanate begins. In 1117, I would take a little bit of a jump here. The legendary 17 martyrs travel to the earthly domains of hell to convert the heretics. That sounds like a bad idea. Captured, tortured, and kept in perpetual state of agony, remain trapped within white-hot brazen bulls to this day. So you're talking hundreds of years of torture. Good morning. Poor McBeardsly's getting ready to get his. You have to grind that stone today, y'all. Really trying to get a nice dirt coat on there. I really want to get it dirty looking. I'm gonna come back and start lightening it up. All right. So let's see. In 1165, the old man in the mountain and his possessions defend the mountain fortress of Almut. The castle stands to this very day, despite being besieged for hundreds of years. 1215, the wars of Tri-Calvinism. The church is split and fights a fierce internal conflict. That's not good. Never good. But it also, I mean, and again, you're mirroring, true to form life there. You started having, debates within the Catholic Church on what was the true nature of God or whatever. And you had a bunch of these different philosophies, and then eventually you had Martin Luther. That right there is a burnt umber I just dropped in. We're going to use that for this gun. Oh, we let that cloak dry. I gotta dry it for just a second. We'll read a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's see, 1306, heretic domains extend as the faithful fight against each other. Millions perish by sword and fire. That's not good. So 1046, Beelzebub unleashes the Black Grail, which is kind of like the Black Plague, but way worse. Tens of millions are infected, becoming metastatic vessels. Metastatic vessels in the worst plague in the history of mankind. The corpse wars begin. Hajra 821. Sultan Bayezid III commissions a new creature of war to act as a living field artillery, the Brazen Bull. That's 1418 by Christian reckoning, I'm guessing. 1429, living state Joan of Arc slays Grail hegemon Yersinia Rex and drives the Black Grail from mainland Europe. See, so there's Joan of Arc is there. So what happens? So you just gotta wonder like where some of these other historical figures are and what happens. That's a lot of really cool things you could do lore-wise to play with it. 1477, the city of Argos is taken by God, and it is no more. And that's literally all it says about it. It's no more, it's gone. 1503, war prophet Angelos, guided by Saint Elgis, discovers the formula for orculum steel. Though extremely costly to produce, the metal proves to be effective against all missile weapons and is still used to this day. 1545, Antioch destroyed utterly by a mysterious infernal weapon. 1559, the Sword Congress of Vienna agrees to rebuild and fortify Antioch and decrees that all faithful nations send a yearly tithe and support to the city as Christendom's last line of defense. Crazy. 1573, Sacred Order of the Dragon halts heretic advances after the destruction of Byzantine. 1 million heretics impaled in the hills of Wallachia. And so this time Dracula got onto the right. It does feel like it can fit in Van Helsing. So like Dracula and his Sacred Order of the Dragon stopped the heretics this time. So I'm guessing Dracula didn't become a vampire. Walls of New Antioch complete in 1595. In 1666, the Year of Six Woes, in a surprise raid, the newly created heretic fleet captures Gibraltar. The sea fortress becomes the heretic base of operations against Europe. Forces of Hell gain access to the Atlantic due to constant. So 1670, due to constant coastal raids by the heretic fleet, the Crown of England begins construction of the fortress of the White Cliffs, which is crazy. Let's see. 1703, against all odds, a small force of Hebrew knights, striking from their secret fortress, destroyed the Templar stronghold at Acre. So that's like, so again, the Templars have gone evil, and they've gone over to the heretic side. So like these are good guys now coming to fight bad guys that used to be on the side of heaven and are now on the side. It gets explained. It gets fun. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Almost right. We gotta figure out what this thing on the back is. Looks like a bunch of doodads and stuffs. Okay, so let's see if we can find anybody who did their. Let me see a picture of what they did to the back. Of course. Of course. Hey, but we're in there. We're in the Google search. Look at that. That's exciting. Okay, well, alright. So we're just going to make some decisions here. It looks, if I'm honest, it looks like an artillery shell. Which would be fun to paint it as such. Yeah, it is definitely an artillery shell. I don't know if this would actually work. Now it's going to reflect it too much. But yeah, you can see. We might need to clean that. You can see there's a small ridge, so that's a shell, which that's cool. That's fun. Left that one. Or we could pull out the grass. That might be good. This is a room or black grass from Games Workshop. Oh yeah, look like an older shell. Maybe we'll do this on part of it, and then we can add a stripe, accent it with the other one. You're gonna get a little overpainting here, don't stress it. It's alright. Other things. I mean, honestly, they look like testicles, but I know they're not. What are they supposed to be? It's they're bones. They're like femur bones or something. Ugh. That's funny. Okay, so we need to make his little tabard needs to be. Just make it leather. We make it leather, right? And darken up leather at that. That's pretty ugly. Okay, so. That's hilarious. It's definitely a bone. A set of bones. It's funny. And these GW paints, you usually take 2 rounds to really get them set in. They're pretty thin. Even thinner when I'm using them because I always have a wet brush, which you're supposed to have. Like, you really should have. For a second. We can finish reading this timeline. Okay, let's see. White Cliffs, we read that. Let's see. Heretic fleet under command of High Captain Ranga defeats the fleet of England in the Battle of the Bloody Cliff. Admiral Nelson is slain in combat. It's 1805. 1866. In the utmost secrecy, heretic scientists, aided by the demon Marvas, construct the first modern submarines. 1870. Launched from Gibraltar, the heretic submarines extract a heavy toll on the merchant navies. Widespread famine ensues. 1872, heretic forces storm the city of Rijeka. It is fortified, and heretic conquest is launched against the European mainland. 1894, the year of broken trinity. 3 death commandos, Cain, Barabbas, and Haman, spontaneously assassinate the supreme pontiff, the high prophetess Alia, and the Holy Roman Emperor. The faithful are thrown into turmoil. The heretic legions, commanded by Hell's nobles of the Seventh Circle, and a huge vanguard of tanks, launch a simultaneous lightning offensive in the Levant and Europe. 1899, Church Space Program commences. 1907, the construction of the moving fortress of Britannia is completed. 1910, Battle of Cordoba, a bloody stalemate. Heretic artillery devastates the ancient city, but the heretic forces fail to gain access to the heartlands of Hispania. Also 1910, Melchior Gassel of New Antioch publishes the official and true annuals of the church history. Present day, both sides are, this is 1914 now, we're to present day. Both sides are preparing for major offensive operations in huge swaths of no man's land. Furious skirmishes and raids increase in intensity as the faithful and heretics vie for information, powerful relics, and securing strategically important positions. So that is that's the whole lore of Trench Crusade. Well, I mean, not the whole lore. That's the timeline. I love that he has a scope, even though I think he's blind. He blinded himself to shoot, so he lets God guide his hands. It's a whole new version of Jesus take the wheel. I really dig that lore, or the timeline thing, because I know kind of what happens in history, and so some of that kind of like lines up with some interesting other parts of history. And if you're gonna do like good alternate history stuff, you gotta do that. You gotta be like, well, normally this would have happened, but since we're in this other timeline, this is what happened at this place. supposed to represent some kind of reliquary kind of thing. So tiny. Super delicate here. Okay, try again. Do the other side. Super delicate work, super delicate. Just gotta keep kind of stay focused. Keep breathing. This is lead belcher, which is another Citadel product. I like Citadel's metallics. They make good metallics. Even if they are a little thin. The pigments are high quality. this. Done. Cowl me. I think I might do some like bronze on this rifle too, just to kind of make it a little bit more fancy. Actually, we'll do the back end bronze. Really want his rifle to stand out. Make sure we got everything figured out right. Any overpaints we might add to. Get rid of those. Yeah. That's the stand for the sniper clothes. That isn't. But I guess we can go ahead and put it there. Just to make the color breaks. Where's my jar nap? My jar of dirty, nipping, grungy stuff. It's usually like right there. I'll do it. Well, I usually have a jar of mineral spirits and oil paint, but I don't know where I put it. Oh, That's not good. What to do with that thing? Guess we'll have to make a little bit on the fly. That happens. It really doesn't take a whole lot to do little bits. We don't have a whole lot of metal here, so we don't need to make a lot of this. I love how this is odorless. When it's referring to mineral spirits, there's no such thing. We just need a tiny bit. It's like a drop of paint, like a tiny bit. I don't even think you can tell. There's like almost no mineral spirits in it. Just a little dribble, if you will. Okay, now this is a good time for, a junk brush or something like that. Something you're not going to be too upset if you forget to clean it. Oil paints can sometimes be a little bit of pain to clean up. You might need a little bit more paint than that. Back and forth, back and forth. Now we need a little more of this. This is why I usually make it in a batch, in a bottle or a jar, because it's kind of hard to eyeball it, especially in smaller amounts. What we're trying to get it to do is that. Where it runs, but it maintains a lot of its deal. I mean, you could use a bunch of different thinners and stuff like that, but this leaves it kind of gritty. When it's done, it'll look more gritty and grimy, which is what we want. And this stuff runs like crazy. Just be ready for that. All that metal bit look a whole lot more used and oiled, especially back here. Alright, we gotta let that dry. That's gonna take a second. Another downside to using things like that, oils and stuff like that, is that it takes even longer for it to dry than like the normal stuff takes to dry. But as you can see, like back here on this bag, that really helps kind of start standing it out. So that's what we want. Even darker purple now. We're staying out of the crevices. We're going to let the crevices be. Okay, now get a little white. Quiet day on the set. It's alright, I had plenty to talk about today. That's a great little review of the timeline. I'll have to try and look up some more info as we move along. I got just a little too light here, but we won't really find that out until it finishes drying. I really like the idea of having him in a little bit more of a colorful piece here. Priests, you know, they would have regalia and stuff like that. It's not like he's a friar. It says sniper priest, not sniper friar. Or sniper monk. The man at one point in time would have been an ordained priest. No way. Now what is that little box right there? Now we got a knife. What is that box? What is that thing? Looks like we're gonna have to find that out tomorrow. Getting there. I don't think we changed much today on this side, but we totally did change some stuff today. Yes, we definitely got some work done. I definitely listen to everybody too. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you're getting much done on the projects, but then like all of a sudden they start finishing up really fast. Like this little guy is going to be done here pretty quick. We'll have him finished and we'll be on moving into the next thing. You could dry brush this if you want to. But I got so many other things going on here. I don't want to. Dry brushing would interfere with a lot of these other details. That looks great. I don't like that. some buttons real quick. Trying to frame those buttons is not. Those up there look fine. We'll have to let that dry and come back and do it tomorrow. Just not thinking about that one. Oh well. It's got a that particular wash has to set. Again, make sure. So I did that with my good brush. Make sure you get it cleaned up pretty quick if you plan on keeping them in good shape. The mineral spirits, if you let it sit in there, will start to dissolve like the glues and stuff. It's bad. It's just bad for the brush. The oil isn't so bad for it, but I don't know why I'm cleaning this synthetic piece of garbage, but whatever. It's even like a garbage handle. Oh well. Okay, well, another step closer. He's definitely starting to come along. Should have him done tomorrow, is my guess. We gotta come in and do his face. There we go. Now it's set. We'll have to do his face and then do his hands and feet and all these other little details. I gotta figure out what the heck that little box is. Maybe it's just an alms box or a regular query or something like that. Who knows? It's gonna be weird, whatever it is. I know that. All right, there we go. So anyway, that's all we got for you today. I've been Pat. You've been the audience. Sir McBeardsly has been the moderator. Appreciate everybody who comes by. If you like what you see, give us the likes and subscribes. Helps with the little algorithm thingy, and gets our stuff in front of more people, which is cool. I love art. I love painting stuff. I love making things. So, and I like people to look at it, because otherwise, what was the point? So I just I'm not worried about money or anything like that off this. I just want to share what I'm doing, hang out, and chit chat with people if they show up. If they don't, I'm going to use this like a little vlog and just kind of keep track of my own progress. And that's just kind of what we do around here. So you're welcome to be a part of our little journey. Really appreciate those who've already gotten got in. We're up to 290. Who knew? So slowly creeping on up there. A couple of years from now, maybe we'll finally make like 500, and we can get some. What is it? The super tips or something, where people can tip you money, and maybe we can blow some money on upgrades here in the studio. Um. Anywho, that's all I got. Hope you guys have a great day. Be good to each other. Be good to somebody. Just be good to anybody. Any random people. Just be good. Be good to people. Treat each other kindly. We need that in our world. We really do. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Really appreciate you.